Good morning and welcome to Coffee Time with Kauffman, the comfortable place to talk about women's leadership. This is a pre-recorded show today. Today's topic is how available for hires can discover more value with Paris Amory. Hey, Paris.
Hi.
Paris Amory is an engineer, marketer, and aspiring entrepreneur. Paris is building her brand on LinkedIn, centering on discovering her greatness as a Black woman engineer and marketer, women in tech, and entrepreneurship. She is currently looking for a full-time remote role in the tech industry and/or marketing industry. Her background in the tech industry includes working with Active Directory, group policy, and PowerShell. Her background in the marketing industry includes managing social media company accounts such as Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, event coordination, content calendar management, and mail and email newsletter creation. She is open to any and all opportunities that involve these tools and tasks. Paris continues to document her journey online. But before we get into how available for hires can discover more value with Paris Amory, my name is Maria Kauffman and I'm a life coach. And today I'm drinking black cherry berry tea. What are you drinking, Paris?
I'm drinking Throat Coat lemon flavor in this really cool mug that says, "Where there's a woman, there's a way."
Awesome. Thanks for reading that. It's hard to see it, so I appreciate it. Awesome. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us all about yourself.
Well, as you said before, I am a marketer and engineer, and I'm currently looking for a full-time remote position in either the engineering industry or engineering/tech industry or marketing industry. And I have fairly extensive knowledge in the tech industry because I do have a degree in information technology, and I worked in in full-time position for about 2 years as an engineer/engineering intern. And I've worked with mainly like servers and Active Directory, group policy, and kind of like the management of those servers. And in marketing, I've worked mainly with social media management and also like helping create marketing strategies as well.
Awesome. So you are a powerful blend of technical and a little bit of the artistic side. You know, maybe that's my own personal perspective of marketing, but marketing is definitely different than tech, and you marry the two together.
Yes, yeah, for sure. It is very different. It was like a big jump when I made like the jump from engineering to marketing, but I think it was needed because one of my goals is to actually start a company sometime in the future, and marketing I know is a very important part of owning a business. So I wanted to learn that sooner rather than later. So yeah, and I have like some of the technical skills down as well. So I wanted to like try out marketing for a little bit, and that was fun.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's why I said powerhouse, because once you have that technical base, you know, entering at least from the technical standpoint, and today marketing is, you know, there's a lot of tech in that, in different apps that you're using and different ways that you can bring those creations to life. So having that tech background it makes it pretty powerful.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what the ideal position you would love to have right now with all of those diverse backgrounds.
Well, that's a really good question. Right now, I've been applying to jobs like that's like kind of tech related, like engineering jobs, system administrator jobs. But I've also been applying to marketing jobs as well, such as like social media manager or like marketing manager or brand manager, like really like technical based marketing coordinator. So my ideal job would probably be either like in something along the lines of like social media management or like system administration, like system engineering type role as well. Right now, I'm keeping all of my options open, and I think like both routes are really great. So that's why I'm just keeping it like very much open and applying to kind of both right now. But yes, yesterday I kind of did like a deep dive of applying to like a lot of engineering positions and system administration positions. So I guess right now I'm like a little bit heavier on like the engineering side of things, but I'm open to both for sure.
So I'm interested too, as you're looking, you have incredible value as you're searching for either one or both, a blend. How's the market look from your perspective as you're in this available for hire status?
So I think there's quite a bit of jobs available right now. It's kind of weird because there's also a lot of companies laying people off. So it's like we're having all of these layoffs happen, but at the same time, there seems to be a lot of jobs available as well. So I mean, that's good that there are a lot of jobs available for the people who need them after being laid off. So it's like I'm looking mainly on LinkedIn for jobs, and that's going well so far. There's always hundreds of jobs that come up whenever I type in like marketing coordinator or like marketing manager or system administration or system engineer. There's always like a lot of options. So I think the market is looking pretty good for people who are unemployed or recently laid off or are just looking for a change.
Awesome. So in my experience, LinkedIn was a valuable tool, but I can't say that, in the years or in the times when I was searching for jobs that I leveraged LinkedIn. But I hear in many circles, it is a very, very powerful place for a lot of people to get their dream, not only just to get a job, but to get their dream jobs.
Yes, it is for sure. I recently started like posting regularly on LinkedIn like a few months ago, and that's helped so far. Like build myself like a community and like gaining more connections and meeting new people. I think it's really helped definitely build my network of people that I know. And when I got laid off at the end of May. And when that happened, I like took to my LinkedIn like a week later and shared that I got laid off, and I would like help with finding a new job. Like if anybody knows of any new jobs, like please send them my way. And like the post did pretty well, and a lot of people like commented and said they can refer me to jobs. And also I got an interview through LinkedIn, actually through that post. Someone said that they are looking for a marketing coordinator and told me to let them know if I'm interested. And I said I was interested. So I sent her my resume and I got an interview. I actually got 4 interviews through that one company. So yeah, I didn't get it. That's okay. But like the opportunity is like amazing that I had the opportunity just because I posted on LinkedIn and built up a community of people who actually like care to help me get like find my next opportunity. So LinkedIn is like incredibly powerful if you use it in like if you use it in a good way, if you use it to
I like to say strategically.
Yes, if you use it strategically, exactly, yeah. And try to like find connections and people that will be able to help you and that you'll be able to help as well. So yeah, LinkedIn is really great.
Yeah. And that is a very important thing to note, like you just said. So there's a bit of reciprocation, so in the past, and I know, I'm on LinkedIn too, doing a lot of connections. And sometimes it seems like people are a little closed off at times, to new connection invitations. And I find it interesting, especially coming out of a global pandemic where technology and just our ability to be social in these virtual ways has never been more acceptable. There's still this interesting dynamic that may happen, as you reach out to do connections. But I'm sure as your marketing side, are there any tips that you would help anyone who's trying to grow their network on LinkedIn strategically? Any tips you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, sure. I would say if you're trying to connect with more people, if there's a certain industry or kind of like, I guess, space that that you want to connect with more people in, like if you are wanting to know more about NFTs or getting into more of the NFT community, you could definitely like search in LinkedIn search bar NFT, and it'll pull up people who have NFTs in like their headline, and you could go through and connect with some people who may seem interesting to you, maybe look through some of their posts to see if their content resonates with you. And when you do try to reach out and connect with them, you should send, like, it's really good to add a message to your connection request, like kind of a personalized like connection request. And I heard that that usually helps with the person like accepting it if it's more personalized and you have like kind of a reason why you want to connect with them. But I would say that's the top thing is just like searching for people in like a space that maybe you want to be in or learn more about. Surrounding yourself with people who are in those spaces can be extremely helpful. And I did want to say that I had a LinkedIn coach for about a month that has helped me with all of this and like helped me with all these tips. And this tip actually comes from him, so I kind of like want to give some credit to him. His name's Roman Palenko. I think I'm saying it wrong, but it's Roman. So yeah, just shout out to Roman.
Shout out to Roman. Awesome.
Yes, very helpful. But yeah, I would say like, yeah, researching who you would like to connect with in a certain space is very, very helpful.
Cool. Awesome. Help us understand what got you into engineering and what was maybe even school like for you back in elementary school. When did you know that you had some aptitude, obviously, in the tech world?
Yeah. Well, elementary school was a good time. Like when I think of school, like in my early times, I wasn't the best at school, honestly. I was more focused on extracurricular activities and friends than I was like studying or school.
Like what kind of extracurricular activities?
I did in elementary school, I did theater and dance. And I also used to do some singing as well. So like the arts, I was very much into. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was really fun. So I was definitely more into that than I was into like more of like the academics. But so I struggled a little bit in school because I didn't study as much. But I was in this class, like this kind of study hall class for kids who like maybe needed a little bit extra like help and stuff. So that really helped me. And yeah, and like that was like really good assistance that we had. But yeah, elementary school, it was like, yeah, it was an interesting time, as I said, like because like the studying just wasn't there, like the motivation to study. And I didn't
being a kid.
yeah, exactly.
Well, obviously you were growing other skills in the arts.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So then fast forward us into like maybe the high school time where you're getting close to maybe the college, idea. What did that look like in high school?
Yeah, in high school I was still in, so in high school I was still in theater, but I was also like taking my academics like a little bit more seriously. I still was a little like, I guess, like kind of careless with it. But I feel like it kind of got a little bit better from elementary school. And that's where I learned that I would like to go into tech in high school. That was more like, I guess, like my junior year probably of high school is like when I thought, okay, yeah, I think tech would be cool. And my mom also kind of encouraged me to go into tech because she knew that she's a CPA, but she is also like pretty tech savvy and she's very smart. So she knew that tech would be a really like great, reliable thing to go into and like career, like a really great career to have. And there's gonna always, I feel like there will always be like an abundance of jobs in the tech field. So like that was another reason. But she encouraged me like to go into tech. So I was like trying out some tech classes like junior and senior year. And I thought they were pretty interesting. And I went to a ID Tech camp. It was like a computer science camp for a week or so.
Yes.
And it was at Washington University in St. Louis.
Okay.
And so like that was really fun. It was more like, of course, like basic, kind of basic programming because we were high schoolers. But that was a really great camp and really great exposure that I had.
In high school, you're learning skills then. And it sounds like too, your motivation is growing because you're finding a career in tech is going to be somewhat prosperous, always jobs available. I imagine at the time it's like, technology is really booming in the world. So good choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's nice to have a camp where you kind of have a little bit of experience to kind of try it on.
Yes.
To see if you like it, and you obviously took well to it. So
Yes.
then what did it look like applying for colleges, and what was that journey like for you?
Yeah, it was like pretty good. So like I didn't apply to like a lot of colleges. I applied to more so like local colleges really. And I first actually went to Johnson County Community College for my first year, and I had a scholarship. So it was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool because the scholarship paid for all of Johnson County Community College. Like for my first year, I went there for 1 year and then transferred to a 4-year university. I chose like Johnson County Community College for my freshman year because it's for one cheaper, and I want to get my general credits out of the way at like kind of more
Good
reasonable
move.
price. Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
Very, very smart move. Yeah. Cool.
So it was pretty cool that like we didn't have to put any more money into like that first year besides like the scholarship. And then I transferred to UMKC, or University of Missouri, Kansas City, and continued my education there. And that's when I declared that I was a computer science major. So I went into computer science first, and I guess like I can I'll go into how like that experience was. But my first programming class was Python, and
very important skill to know.
Yes, and I actually failed that class. It was bad, but I retook it though, and I passed this time.
Good.
But yeah, that was pretty challenging time for me though, and like the second time around, I buckled down and like kind of like studied more. In college, that's when I would say I became more studious versus like my other times in like throughout education, like high school, like downwards was like not as studious, not as like concentrated. But college, I feel like I really changed and became a lot more studious and very serious about my education. So,
Well,
yeah.
okay, great. So that's interesting because, you can fail a class and kind of get defeated and walk away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you can have the courage to say, maybe I didn't put my best into it, because it sounds like there's might have been a part of you that was like, I know I can do better. I'm going to give it another try.
Yes.
And then, something else kicked in for you at that time. Help us understand what the motivation was to get more studious.
Yeah. Well, I thought if I want to have like a thriving career in the tech industry, I need to do better with school, because this is, important things that we're learning. We're learning like the fundamentals that's supposed to like, really like help us like into our career. So I thought it's very important to know these things and give it my all, so I can get into like a good company and do good things for myself in my career, and everything. Especially if I want to start a company, I should probably take school a bit more seriously. So yeah, so I buckled down and studied more and got better. And I also used to have a tutor for math, and that helped a lot. I got a lot better at math. Math was something I wasn't very good at, like I guess like in high school and stuff like that. But I got a lot better at it in college, and I was taking calculus 2, and I was like, oh my gosh, like look at me, like taking calculus 2, like all these things. So I took like all this math because I was in computer science. Like I was a computer science major at the time. And then I decided, okay, like actually I think I want to do like switch to information technology, because that was kind of, it was part business and part like computer science / tech. I do the air quotes for part business because like there was like 3 business classes and the rest were like computer science tech. So it wasn't really part business, but that's okay, because it was still, good things that we learned. But I switched out of computer science and went into information technology. And it kind of stinks because I took more math than I needed for information technology. Like for computer science, you need to take up to linear algebra. So I was like 1 class away or so, or like 2 classes away from finishing computer science math. But for information technology, you just need like up to like college algebra or like calculus 1 or something. But I was fine with that because honestly, by then I actually really enjoyed math. So like I didn't. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I did start to really like math.
So a transformation, like multiple transformations were kind of happening through this time period,
Yes.
so interesting. And so you were kind of discovering, oh my goodness, so this thing that I wanted to avoid, and I thought maybe, I didn't like it, when I buckle down, get courageous and put my, more effort into it, I come out, I kind of like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was really empowering to really like apply myself the way I like knew I could, and the way that I always could have if I wanted to. So that was like a really great experience. And like
now,
I
have a question, because now did you switch from computer science to tech in that time period?
I switched to computer science to information technology, like I would say like in my junior year of college, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And what was the decision behind that? Why did you do that?
Because I wanted an education in both business and like computer science / tech. Since I do want to have my own company, I thought it would be good to also know at least a little bit about the business side of things. So I took like accounting and finance, and it was really interesting to see like like kind of like the differences between the tech and computer science classes with the business classes. The business classes were were really great, and like really like they gave me a lot of like knowledge on like the business side of things. And I felt like I felt like that those classes I did a little bit better in, or I guess like it kind of like, I should say, like it came a little bit easier to me with the business classes. With the computer science ones, I had to work harder. I feel like not study harder, but maybe a bit longer, more for it than the other classes. But having that dynamic was really interesting. And yeah, to just see kind of like the difference, and kind of like, oh, like maybe what I'm a little bit, like more like naturally good at, and like what I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm naturally good at, like, I guess like math really. I really had to work hard at that, as like you probably can tell from my story. But I feel like that really helped though. Like the math helped with accounting and finance classes, because like maybe, a business student wouldn't do as much math maybe as like a computer science student. And like we had a lot of math classes as like computer science students. So like when it came to like finance, especially, like the math that we did in there wasn't too like bad or anything, because I've had already been like continuing on with my math, like, my math education and stuff. So I was already kind of like, my mind was already like, oh yeah, math, instead of like maybe taking a break from math for a little bit and then having to come back to it. That would have been harder, like more challenging. So I feel like that definitely helped with the business side of things too, like the tech side of things helped with the business side of things. So yeah, it was a really nice compliment, like complimentary. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I don't think I'm saying it correctly.
No, that's okay. So it's interesting because it sounds like there's a little bit of that business mindset in you, even through the college years. Because I'm interested in understanding. So you get out of college and you go to find a tech job, and you get a tech job.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. When did the entrepreneurship come into play?
Yeah, it came into play more so, I guess, like in college. I wasn't exactly sure like what type of company I wanted to start, but I was thinking of like maybe a SaaS company, and like I have kind of other different like companies that I would like to start as well, but I'm just not sure like which one will come first.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. That perspective is like, I got all these ideas. I'm just not sure which one's going to come first.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I have been entrepreneurial, like I feel like since college, and my parents are actually entrepreneurs. They're in the real estate industry. My mom, like I said, is a CPA, but she also does real estate on like the side, and that was like her and my dad's side hustle really. And it could really be their main hustle if they wanted it to be. But yeah, so I guess
you got influence.
Yeah, exactly. Like my mom always says that it's good to have more than one source of income. So yeah, so I'm trying to get more.
That makes a lot of sense. Cool. So then how did marketing come into play, other than, obviously that's a little bit on the more entrepreneurial side and the business side. Was there a point in time where you got specific about trying to get into marketing and away from tech? What did that look like for you?
Yeah. So right after I graduated college, I went into a system engineer role at Cerner, and I was there for about like a year and 8 months, and then I decided I would like to change or transition into a marketing role. And the reason I wanted to transition into a marketing role was because mainly like me and my partner, actually, we like started this side project. It was called Ecom Pal, and it was supposed to help people with like Shopify stores easily bulk upload their products into their store. like with an Excel sheet and everything. So we were like working on that with my partner and like his friend, and I was helping out with the marketing side of things. So that's when I first got into like, I guess like marketing, and trying to like do that as, you know, I guess kind of like I guess like trying to make it a side hustle. And I got interested in marketing from that. And I was like, you know, this is actually like would be really useful to know. Like marketing is definitely a useful skill to have and know, especially if you are like want to be an entrepreneur one day and have your own business. So I decided like I wanted to try out marketing in my career as like full-time job to just optimize my learning and learn more in like a company environment. And I also wanted to work at a startup. So it was really cool because my first marketing job was marketing coordinator at a startup called Commit. And I wanted to work in a startup because I really like the fact that you have to wear multiple hats at startups. And so you get kind of like a little bit of different things, which I think is good, especially if you want to be an entrepreneur. Like you have to do everything once you first start. And also like I could work closely with the CEO, the CTO, like the COO, you know, and ask them questions that maybe I couldn't at a bigger company. So I also wanted to do that and have that experience. So that's why I targeted a startup company, and also targeted marketing roles too.
Awesome, because
And
I kind of
yeah,
want to touch on the title that we're kind of talking about here is how available for hires can discover more value.
yeah,
And you basically are in this conversation, you're kind of hitting it where you're strong in tech. You're willing to work hard and learn new skills and overcome, some things that you may not want to learn. You're willing to do the work to learn what you need to do and to be flexible. So you have an artistic side too, which I didn't know before this our show here right now, which is awesome. So you have a creative side, you've got tech nailed down, you're a hard worker, you like startups, which means that you're willing and maybe you even have a preference to work with leadership. And I imagine part of that is when you have those relationships with leadership and the owners of companies, tell us about the results that you're willing and capable of delivering when you talk to those people, and they have expectations, right?
yes.
So if you're asking them what they want, they're going to tell you, you're going to have to go deliver and come back and give them results. What are some of your superpowers? What are your strengths in those environments, especially for startups?
Yeah. So when I first started at Commit, it was the marketing team was basically the VP of marketing, but she was going on maternity leave, like shortly after they hired me, and me. So it was just me and her, and one of the other members of the engineering team actually was interim director of marketing. So he was just stepping in for a little bit until we found kind of like a head of marketing person. So it was like me and him later on, and that was just the marketing team. So like it, and both of us didn't really have that much experience in marketing. It was like two tech people trying to do marketing, basically. So yeah, it was interesting. But I had a lot of room to like try out new things and like be creative on social media. So when they hired me, they wanted to get a content calendar started, and also to have like a certain like post more blog posts on our website, also be more consistent with social media posts. So those are all things that I did when I went into this role. So I like created the content calendar and managed it, and also ran the content calendar meetings, and made sure we had a certain blog post cadence that we would like post every week or every other week. And I also created our social media, like different social media series and social media posts. So it was like mainly me creating a lot of social media content in the very beginning. So I had to kind of step outside the box and like kind of give different ideas of what we could do for different social media content and everything. So yeah, I was a lot of for being creative.
And it sounds like you had to be basically you had the freedom to bring solutions to the table.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only, you know, did you have that room, but obviously then you delivered on those results.
Yes.
Awesome.
I did. Yeah.
So Paris, like that's huge value.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about, you know, as a new hire right now, you are very, very obviously capable of, you know, tech stuff, marketing stuff, but to know that you worked with a startup and that you were willing and able to not be managed, you know, basically you just took an idea and you ran with it and delivered on it is pretty powerful. Very, very valuable.
Yeah.
So good for you. So that's interesting with the startup. As you're looking for a position right now, is there a certain type of company, a size of a company? You said remote opportunity. What exactly are you looking for?
Yeah. So I'm pretty open right now. I'm open to startup companies. I guess like mainly who have a, I think like seed funding to like Series A / Series B is like good, would be good like for me for startup companies. And I'm also open to medium-sized companies. Like I guess like that's like 50 to like, well, 50 is pretty small. So I guess like more like 100 or 200 to like 1,000. But I'd probably stay within like the startup / small company to medium-sized company. I don't really, like I think.
So I'm curious then, you know, earlier we were talking about using LinkedIn. So when you use LinkedIn to search for a job right now, are you looking for a certain type of size of a company like that? Or what are your search criteria as you search?
I don't really like pay as much attention to how big the company is while I'm searching on LinkedIn, honestly. I'm more paying attention to like what the job title, job description is, the salary, if they have the salary on there, and things like that, how long the job's been posted for, and I'll apply based off of that usually. But it seems like I have been applying to more like kind of like medium-sized companies, honestly.
And you mix it up a little bit. Sometimes you're looking for the tech one, sometimes you're looking for marketing.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I guess it's hard to really take all of your values and create a position because of some of that uniqueness. There's not something that really exists unless you're looking specifically for startups that need somebody that can wear multiple hats.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm definitely open to like different tech / engineering positions or like marketing positions as well. That's why I'm kind of like doing a mixture of both. So yeah, and it's I mean, it's totally fine if there's like not a mixture of the two in one job. I think that makes sense.
Right. That is the hard part, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, which is fine.
But I would imagine, and what I'm finding too is that people do come with a lot of skills, you know, outside of maybe a job title in this job description. So, you know, it must be fascinating, you know, to have such a range of value and try and get into something that's going to utilize all of those values on some level, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe you get a tech job and then you do something as a side hustle or however that works, right?
Yeah, exactly, which is totally fine as well. But yeah, I am like just like trying to, you know, maximize my chances and opportunities by applying to both. So yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you a little bit about the future of women's leadership, because I always ask my guests, what do you think things are going to look like when more women are stepping into their greatness and totally claiming all of their value in all these ways, because I think, what you bring to the table is pretty rich and valuable. When more people can do that, the next 100 years or maybe even 10 years, where would you love to see the world go for women's leadership?
Well, within the next 100 years, I definitely think there'll be more women in leadership, like in CEO positions, more women creating new companies, and just leading the E-suite and or C-suite, sorry. So yeah, I definitely think there'll be a lot more women in leadership in 100 years.
Yeah.
But I would like women in leadership to go just have more representation in these leadership roles, because it's really important that there is representation across the board, so young girls and women can see themselves in these top top C-suite positions and leading teams and everything. And also, it's really important that women are in these leadership roles, because it's never good when there's too much of the same person. That's not good, and that doesn't add any value to the team or the work that they're doing. Honestly, it's really great when it's more of a diverse group of people. They bring different ideas to the table, which makes you such a better and stronger team.
Right.
And I feel like people who a woman would, a woman, I feel would try to look for other individuals who maybe don't necessarily look like them. And there are also some men doing that as well, but I think there needs to be more women in the picture, with bringing more diverse groups into the picture as well, and helping them have voices in whatever space they want to be in and stuff.
Awesome.
So
different perspective is important. It's crucial for progress and innovation.
Yes.
And definitely for someone who has an entrepreneurial spirit, that's interesting, because that is a hint of a very innovative and progressive mindset that you bring to the table as well. So
cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah.
So is there a quote that you would like to share with the audience?
Yes, for sure. Okay, I wrote it down, so I'm going to read it now. This quote is by Maya Angelou, and it's, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style."
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. One of my favorite quote creators is Maya Angelou. She's amazing.
Yes. She is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of great quotes.
Yeah. So Paris, thank you so much for being on the show today. It has been a pleasure to have you. It's been a pleasure to find out all of these amazing values that you bring as a new hire, I say a new hire as you are looking to be hired for your next career step on your journey.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Definitely keep in touch too, and let us know how your job search is going, and certainly how your entrepreneurship is going as well, as you continue to change the world in the positive ways that only you can do.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
So Coffee Time with Kauffman is the comfortable place to discuss women's leadership, because I am on a mission to help the world discover the truth about what women are capable of. When you are ready for your leadership mastery makeover, go to mariakaufman.com and click on Consult a Coach, where you can schedule time with me for an empowerment session. Have a great week. Enjoy your adventures and journey responsibly. Bye. Thanks, Paris.
Thank you.